Go.
It was a normal day in the office for Detective Johnson when suddenly he got a call from a local police station reporting that a girl had been kidnapped. Detective Johnson is the best detective in the area, so he is always called when crime such as this happens. Detective Johnson raced to the location of the crime scene to find that it had already been taped off for investigation. Upon his arrival, he was met by his partner, Detective Williams, who had been driving near the scene, and so he arrived first. Detective Williams filled Johnson in on the information he received, which was only the girl's name at the time, Jessica Warner. Detective Johnson is led into the house and talked with forensics to see if any fingerprints are found because, in most cases, the criminals always leave some kind of evidence. The first evidence found was a mud print left on the door from where the criminal kicked down the door. Then, while searching the girl's bedroom from where Jessica had been taken, Johnson found a strand of hair which seemed to be of a girl, but also a piece of shorter and different color hair which he suspected was the intruder. He also realized signs of a fight because the bed was moved and the shades from the windows were knocked off the window. He searched for more evidence, but could find nothing more that could help them. After finding no further evidence, Detective Johnson handed over the evidence to the forensics team so they could go back to the lab and run a DNA test. After hours of waiting for the call from the detective lab, Detective Johnson's phone rings. He answers to find good news that they have a possible suspect by the name of Dan Smith. Detective Johnson then ran Smith's name through his computer to find that Smith was recently let out of prison and was in there for sexual assault charges. When seeing that information, Johnson knew that this had to be taken serious because Jessica could be in much danger. After finding the address of the suspect, Johnson gets Detective Williams and also a group of police officers to go to the house and take down Smith. It was nighttime, so they used that to their advantage and surrounded the house quietly as Detective Johnson and a police officer approached the door. Johnson knocked on the door, and when Smith opened the door and realized who it was, he tried running through the back door to only be surprised by 12 cops waiting for him in the backyard. After capturing Smith and putting him into the car, Johnson and the police officers re-entered the house in search of Jessica. He started on the second floor of the house, checking every room and finding nothing in every one. While making his way back down towards the main floor, he hears, "We found her," coming from the basement. He rushes to the basement to find an officer holding Jessica, barely conscious, bleeding, and bruises all over her body. They call paramedics and have Jessica taken to the hospital, and as she is being pushed past Detective Johnson, she grabs his hand and says to him faintly, "Thank you." After that, Johnson walked to a patrol car and picked up the radio to call in, "The case is closed, girl found."